Welcome to the Unity MMO Creators channel, where we are all about the business and tech of indie MMO development. In today's episode, we are going to be going over the setup of the UniStorm environment system. So let's get started. Welcome back to episode 3 of this uMMORPG tutorial series. If you are new to the channel and you like this content, then please consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell icon so you'll always be notified whenever I upload new content. Down in the description below, I've got links to our Discord channel and to our Patreon page, which are two really good resources to get even more content beyond what I share on YouTube. In yesterday's episode, we went over the setup of uMMORPG. Today, we are going to be looking at the setup of UniStorm and how UniStorm can be beneficial to our MMORPG project. So, let's get right into it. Okay, here we are back in the demo scene that comes with uMMORPG. This is where we left off from yesterday's episode. Nothing has been changed. This is exactly the way it was when we left yesterday. So now we're going to go and add the UniStorm plugin. We've already imported it into Unity yesterday. So all we have to do, we're going to go right into the UniStorm 3.0 folder, go into the prefabs folder, go into the system folder. Then we're going to drag the prefab right into our scene. Now, we're going to have to go into the lighting and change the skybox to the UniStorm skybox. We are also going to have to delete the directional light from the scene. We're going to have to go into the main camera and in the clear flags of the camera script, we're going to want to change that to skybox. Now we're going to go to the UniStorm system prefab and go click on where it says player and camera. Now, so get player method by tag, player tag equals player, the camera tag equals main camera. We're going to want to enable the use runtime delay. That way it just simply disables UniStorm until it actually has the player and the camera. UniStorm will follow the player. The UniStorm menu is enabled, and use the escape key to activate the UniStorm menu. Alright, so that's all good. Now back here in the lighting tab, the sun source, you're going to want to make that the UniStorm sun. The environment lighting, the source, you'll want to make a gradient. Environment reflections, let's go with skybox for that. And then fog, you want to be enabled, which already is. So now on the camera, we're going to be adding a script to the camera for the post-processing effects. Let's see. Alright, post-processing behavior. And then we are going to add the UniStorm effects profile. Now we're going to play the game. We're going to go into server and play. Select the character. Start. And here we have UniStorm now enabled. Now we're going to press escape. It brings up the UniStorm menu. You can change the time of day. And we can go ahead and let's say, I like thunderstorms, so let's say we wanted to be a thunderstorm. Click on change weather. And now the weather is becoming a thunderstorm. Alright, there was a little bit of an error there, so I had to do a little bit of a cut. But the new character selection screen was interfering with the UniStorm. But the simple fix for that was simply to go into the player characters and put the tag to being untagged, and then we simply made in the onStart local player of the player class, we simply set the tag to player from there. And now if we play it, server and play, select our character and start. Now we're not getting any errors at all. And the thunderstorm is working as expected. Alright, so now how can UniStorm help with our MMORPG project? Well, first of all, it just looks awesome. It adds a lot of depth and stuff to the environment with the whole day-night cycle, seasons, weather, all of that stuff. It also adds some really cool functionality for scripting. You can set up events to happen based on changes in time of day, changes in weather, changes in season, all of that sort of stuff. You can create an event. So let's say we wanted to add dusk. We wanted to send all of our NPCs home for the night. We could just set up an event at 7 o'clock in the evening. The NPCs would go home. All the lights would come on inside the village. And we could even have more hostile mobs and stuff spawn as that was happening. So it adds a lot of dynamic depth and stuff to our games to make them pop and come alive, which is something that I really, really enjoy, and we will be getting into later on in the tutorial series when we start doing dynamic spawners and all of that stuff for all of our mobs and NPCs and everything. So that's really cool. It does add seasons, it adds weather, it adds temperature. all of that sort of stuff. So then we can have like a dynamic where um, if the player gets too cold, then he starts taking damage or whatever, and we can have like a nice little effect on the screen to notify the player that he's getting too cold. So that's something else that we're able to do, or too hot or whatever. Um, so that's something else that we'll be working on later on in the series that may not be part of this initial part of the series, but at some point we will do some tutorials on that, on heat damage and cold damage and all that stuff. So, in all, I think UniStorm really does add a lot of functionality to our game, adds a lot of depth to it. But UniStorm is not the only environment system that is available for Unity 3D. You've got Enviro, you've got time of day, you've got, there's like a whole list of them on the asset store that you can pick and choose from. And well, my tutorial series will be focused on Unistorm. You will be able to use whatever environment system you want to use for your own game. So later on, when we get into the zone setup and all that, we will go over syncing the day-night cycle and weather and all that stuff over the network, so all clients are using the same day and night cycle, the same time and all that. We'll have the server controlling the weather, so then it will be, if it's thunderstorms on one client, it will be thunderstorms on every client. But that's something that we'll be doing later on in the tutorial series. For the next tutorial will be released on Monday. I've decided just to give myself some time to unwind and do some other stuff in my life that I need to do. I'm going to be doing videos Monday through Friday and taking the weekends off. So the next tutorial video will be coming out on Monday, and it will be all about PlayFab and getting PlayFab set up and using PlayFab to authenticate the player, create the accounts and all that stuff, and um, verify the information on the server when the player connects to the server. So until then, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and please, if you want to join a community and have people to tell you what they think of your ideas and stuff and share what you're working on and everything, please consider joining our Discord channel. The link is down in the description. And again, I really hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you on Monday.